Next guy we have in our pre-draft series here is Duke freshman center, 7'1" player Khaman Maluach. He averaged 8.5 points per game this year, 6.6 rebounds, and for a guy that was perceived to be such a great shot blocker, only 1.3 blocks per game might seem a little underwhelming. But again, I got to see them in person a handful of times this year, and the dude is he's just huge and was such a deterrent. You could see the difference with how teams were willing to even attack around him, and he forced guys into such awkward positions. It allowed people like Cooper Fly to come in and pick up some weak side blocks and things like that. So it changed the way teams structured their offense when he was in the game, just because of the size. I don't think he's like a switchable guy. He is probably a drop coverage big, but he's got decent hands for a dude this big. He seemed to have some touch. There's a really cool video that Duke put on their YouTube channel. They also have a series called Duke Blue Planet where they talked about Derek Lively, wanting to mentor some of the younger guys when he came back for a visit, and then showed a film of him helping Malach with like jump hooks and drop steps and all these little things from a footwork and skill perspective. So he's just really raw. So I wouldn't judge him as anywhere near a finished product. So the fact that he was super productive right now as a freshman that's got such room to grow, I think is a really good sign for whichever team takes him. He shot 71.2% from the field. Like the dude finished everything. Not a 3-point shooter yet, but that's okay. But a decent free throw shooter for a guy that big, 76.6% from the free throw line, only 2 attempts per game, which isn't that big of a deal. But he's going to finish everything up and around the rim. He'd be a real lob threat as a vertical spacer. Picturing him next to just Alex Sarr, they'd be absolutely huge. And you just switch everything 1 through 4, which I think Sarr is, going to be able to do theoretically longer term. And you just let Maluach be huge and, cut off the rim. To me, wouldn't be the guy I would want to take in the top 5 or 6 if they end up falling to 6, just because of the limited versatility. And I'm not big on taking centers, in the top couple picks unless they are like generational, which I don't think Maluach is. But he's a guy I would certainly be interested in. If they traded back from 6 or traded up from 18 or whatever the case may be, I think you give him a long look at that point. I think the ceiling isn't maybe as high as some people do, but I think the floor is crazy high. Like, to me, he's at least Mark Williams, and Mark Williams, it's been good when he's been on the court. The problem has really just been the health. That's why that Lakers trade failed. So if you're Maluach and you can be a Mark Williams or a Walker Kessler, immediate impact defender, shot blocker, I think that's a guy that definitely is valuable for a lot of teams like the Wizards, especially, who need some defensive help.